Welcome to iFocus tutorials. In this video I will be explaining the concept of sets in Python. So now what is a set? It is basically a collection of items, or we can say that it is a group of elements. In the previous video I had explained the concept of list and tuple. So we know that we can create a list by using a square bracket. Similarly, we can create a tuple by using a circular bracket. So now what is the way of creating a set? So a set can be created by using a curly bracket. I am explaining this concept of a set in PyCharm. So in PyCharm I have opened a Python console here, and I will be creating a set in this Python console here. So to start with, I will create a set by the name S, and as I said, we can create it by using a curly bracket. Now we can create a set of integers, or it can be of floats, or it can be string, or we can create a set by using the combination of all these three also. Right now I am creating a set of integers. So I am taking random numbers, and I am separating them by using a comma here. So now if I want to check whether my set has been created, I will just check. So here S is nothing but a set that has been created here. Now is this the only way that we can create a set? So no, this is not the only way in which we can create a set. So this is the first method by using the curly bracket. Now the second way to create a set is by using the set method. Just wait for few minutes, I will show you how to create the set in the second way also. But right now we have created a set here, and if you observe the created set, the numbers that we have given in the curly bracket is same as that have been created here. But if you observe the order, I have given the order as 12, 45, 78, 9 and 23, but I am getting the order different. Why? Because a set is a concept in which the order is not fixed. So we can say that set is an unordered list of elements. Now you will say that there is no order in this set. So is it really useful? Then yes, we can iterate through a set, and it can be done by using a loop. Also, set is mutable, but it doesn't allow the duplicate elements. So the main use of a set is to remove the duplicate values from a list. Now I will try to access an element from this set by using the previous method only, as we were using for list. So I am trying to access the second element. Oh, but I am getting an error. Now why this error is there by accessing the element in the set? Because the set is an unordered list, and we can't use the index to find the element. So what this set uses, it uses a data structure called as hash table to find whether that element is present in the set or not. Now what are the different operations or methods that we can perform on set? We can check that by using s dot, and we will get a list here. So if you observe here, we have multiple methods that we can perform on sets. So we will try some of them here, but right now I will show you how we can create a set by using the second way. So I am creating a set that is B, and I am using the set method to create a set. Now this is the way that we can create a set that is named as B, and if you check here, if I display here, I will get B is a set. Now how to add elements in this set is by using the add method. So B dot add, if I say, and if I add the number as 75, and if I display B, I will get the element as 75 in it. So B has a single element which is nothing but a set and has 75 in it. But if you want to add the elements while using this method itself, there is also a way, that is C is equal to, I am using again the same method, and in this I am using a square bracket to add my elements. So any element you can add. I am adding random elements. So now if I try to display C, I will get the elements in my set. So again, if you observe here, the elements that I have given in an order, that is not the same order that I am getting at the output. So basically it is clear that a set is nothing but a group which is of unordered elements. Now we will see the different methods that we can perform on set. So to try with the methods, first I will create a new set here. So I will create it by the name A, and I am again adding some integers as a random numbers. So this is my set, let's say, and if I try to display it, I am getting the elements in it. So this is fine. I have created a set now. Now what I will do, I will use the first method that I have shown previously, that is a add method. So a dot add basically adds any element that we are going to give in that set. So if I try to display A, I will get somewhere as 34. So if you observe here, 34 has been added to my previous set. Now we have another method called as update also, that is also used to add the elements in your set. So if I try another number, let's say 35. Oh, I missed the bracket here. So update method is used with a square bracket here. So if I try to display my set here, I will get 35 added in my set. So you will say, what is the difference between the add method and the update method? When we are using the add method, and if I try to add multiple elements in it, for example I am adding 3 elements in it, so I will get an error here. Why? Because by using the add method we can add only one iterable value, whereas if I try to add all these 3 numbers by using the update method, we will not get any error. So we will check by using this update method also. So I am going to add again 3 numbers. So first I will check what numbers we can add. So these are the 3 numbers that I am going to add, and if I display my A, I am getting a huge list right now. So somewhere there is a, let's say 23, 56 and 7. So basically by using the add method we can add only one iterable value, but by using the update method we can add multiple iterable values. So whichever is better for you according to the application, you can use that method. So I have created a huge set right now. So I will try to delete any element from my set. So to delete an element, I have to use the remove method, and I have to mention which element I have to remove. So let's say I will remove 45. So now if I display A, 45 is of course missing here. Why? Because I have deleted here. Again I have a method called as discard, which is used to remove an element only. So I will try to remove 12 here. So if you observe here, 12 is again missing. Why? Because I have deleted it. Now again, what is the difference between remove and discard here? So I will try to remove a number which is not present in this list, for example 100. To get the information about the tutorials, press the subscribe button and click on the bell icon to get the notification. So let's check. Oh, it is giving an error. Why? So let's check the same method by using discard. So I will try to remove 100. Oh, it is not giving me an error, and if I display my set, okay, I am getting the same numbers again. So the main difference of using a remove and discard is that when we try to delete an element using remove method, and if that number does not exist in my set, then it will give me an error. Whereas if I try to remove a number using a discard method which is not present, so it will not give me an error. So again, it is your choice which method you have to use. You can use it accordingly. Now it is a tedious task to remove each and every element from my set here. So I have multiple elements. So should I use this method again and again? No, I have a method called as a clear method, which clears the entire set. So if I try here and if I print A, I am getting A is a set, but I don't have any element in it right now. So by using the clear method, we can directly clear our set. Again, if you want to delete the set in programming, then you can use the del keyword, that is a del keyword, and it will clear your set completely. Now I will add some numbers in it to show the rest of the methods that I am going to try. So again I am adding some numbers, again some random numbers I am taking, I don't know. Okay, so I have created a set here. Okay, this is fine. So it is displaying the set in a sorted order. That's nice. So now what I will do, I will try to pop an element from my set. So pop is nothing but the element that we have added, that will be removed. But as set is an unordered list of elements, so it is not clear which of the element we are going to remove. So now we will try which number we will pop here. So if I try 3, that is the first number, is removed here from my set. So 3 has been popped from my set here. Now we will try to check how many elements are there in my set. So that can be done by using the len function, that is it will give you the length of your set. So if you check here, I am getting 5 elements. Oh, but right now I am having 6 elements. Oh no, I have popped the third element. So if you check here, that is the set is having 5 elements, and so if you want to count how many elements are there in my set, you can use the len function. There are two interesting methods that we can try in set, that is a union and intersection. So for that I require two sets together. So right now I am having a single set, that is A. So I will quickly create another set, that is B, and I will add some 2 or 3 elements in it. So I am adding 3, 5 and then 13 and let's say 56. Okay, so I have created two sets right now. I have a set A and I have a set B. Now if I want to add both these sets together, then I have to use a union method. So how this union method is used, I have to use another variable, that is C is equal to first set name dot union, and which set I have to add to that set, that is nothing but B. So I will use a B here. Now if I try to print C, I am getting all the elements in it. But if you observe here properly, A set has 6, 8, 13, 56 and 90, whereas B set has 3, 5, 13, 56. So if you observe here, I have purposefully added this 13 and 56 number in my B list. But if you observe the C list, that when I am going to create a union of these two lists, 13 and 56 has been added only once. Why? Because when we are going to create a set, it removes the duplicate elements in it. So your 13 and 56 will be displayed only once. Now another way to create a union is by using a symbol, that is a C, A, and this is the symbol to create a union. So A union B, and again of course I will get the same list. So if you observe here also I am getting the same set, whereas here also I am getting the same set. So both the methods are okay for finding a union. Now we will try for intersection. So for intersection, what I have to do, C is equal to, again same, A dot intersection is the method name, and that is B. So if I print C now, intersection is nothing but it will list the numbers that are common in both the sets. So right now I have two numbers in common, that is 56 and 13. So I have listed the output as 56 and 13. Now another method to use this intersection is by using a symbol, that is C is equal to, and this is the symbol to find out the intersection. So if you observe the output, and if I check the output, again I am getting the same output as C is equal to 5613, and here also C is equal to 5613. So this is it. I have tried some of the methods for a set, so you can try the remaining methods by yourself, and if you have any doubt, let me know in the comment section, and do subscribe the channel. Thank you.